You remember that song from KLF? KLF is gonna rock you. Do 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 do. I think it starts off. It's 3 a.m. It's 3 a.m. It's 3 a.m. Theta. Oh, actually, it says eternal. Steven, time for a new song. So it's actually 3:30 a.m. I hear little Ian tossing and turning over there. I still can't sleep. I'm not even kind of tired. I'm thinking of Theta. I could do this, the second mortgage, the first mortgage. I could pay that off. I could do this. I'm like, well, Ian's tossing and turning. My wife's tossing and turning. So I said, let me go. It's 3:30. Let me just wake him up and feed his little mini me self. And so he just ate a little bottle. He's down in the crib. Me and Evelyn are just talking about like all the possibilities of what we could do. Well, we could do this. Well, we might be able to do. Well, we could do that first, and then we could do this. Okay, well, maybe we could do that.
You can buy your helicopter.
Yeah. So, all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you what my toy was. All right. There is a mini helicopter. It's an experimental, and they're usually brand new. Anyways, this one was not new. $38,000 for the kit if you're gonna put it together. If you want them to build it, it's like 40. It's like another 10K. It's like 48. I was just thinking, one of these days it's experimental. Don't have to have a license. I could just take lessons on an R22 until I'm comfortable, and then fly this thing. Don't have to have, again, no license, no nothing. And I thought, man, up in the New Mexican mountains, New Mexico, God, I could get to so many places. And lately they're tiny. They weigh like 400 pounds, and maybe not even that much. So I'm like, God, it'd make it so easy to get to some of these places that only I could get to in a drone that look interesting. I'd like to have one. So I was just browsing around the other day. Not that I was really looking for one, but I just want to see what was going on, what's out there, any used ones. And I found this one on the forum, and it was a lot less than 30, even the 38,000, and it was used, already put together. And the guy that bought it, he's an older man. He's got 2 or 3 projects he's working on now. He's like, I shouldn't have got this thing and to work on another project. He goes, but the guy that got it before me, he's the one that built it, or it was built and he bought it, one or the other. He was the single first owner, and but he's like, well, I didn't really do that because you didn't have to hook that thing up, and I didn't really, yeah, I just wired it this way because blah, blah, blah. And this older guy that now owns it's like, I'm one of those guys that's anal about everything. If it is not dead on perfect from the factory, the way it's supposed, I rip it out and just do it over. So he's like, I wanted to rewire the whole dash assembly with all the gauges. He goes, I pulled it out. I started working on that in my kitchen, and rewiring and this and that. And guy had a different seat in there. I took the old seat out, put the new improved seat in, and the collective was changed because of I think it's called the collective, the one on the left that makes it go up and down. I can't think of the other word. There's a collective and the main stick. It's not I forget what that thing's called. But he goes, so I started working on this. He goes, everything's there. It was flyable, but he goes, I took a few things apart because I just wanted to be just absolutely perfect. He goes, I was going to ask some more money for it, but I'm not finishing it. I'm not going to put it back. So he's like, I thought I'd just discount it. So he was asking a price way under 38, and I'm like, well, I'm going to lowball him some more just to ask. I'm like, well, is such and such out of the question? It was low. It was stupid. And he's like, well, I mean, I'm not putting it back together. The dash and stuff and all that. He said, no, that's not out of the question. I mean, if you want it, I mean, you're gonna have to come up with a trailer because it doesn't have a trailer. I'm like, well, I got a trailer. It'll fit on my trailer. And he's like, yeah, I'd take that. So I was like, oh, snap. He was supposed to say no. So I'm like, telling my wife, hey, Evelyn, I might be taking a little trip. She's like, no, we don't need that right now. I'm like, all right, fine. So, but it was so, I mean, like stupid cheap, really dumb cheap. Like you can't pass it up cheap. So that's the toy I keep telling you about. I'm not gonna tell you guys what it is yet. That's what it is. Single seater helicopter, and it mainly for treasure hunting. I mean, but at the same time, I have enough room right here. I could fly that thing out of my damn backyard, and you're allowed to do that. And I thought, how freaking cool would that be? Just take off and land on my own property. That's just awesome, you know. But I would trailer it to New Mexico and do my thing out there. Um, so, anyways, I ended up telling the guy, I was like, because he was saying something about his wife was like, nope, you're not getting no more until you get rid of one of these things. He had 3 different helicopter projects he was working on. So he's telling me about his wife busting his balls. So I said, speaking about our wives, I said, mine's kind of, with the economy, not real sure right now. She really doesn't want me to spend any extra money right now, and I don't blame her. We kind of got to see how this country reopening is going to go. He goes, that's all right, it'll probably still be here, maybe if I got it and you change your mind soon or whatever. Just give me a call. He goes, I might start working on the gauges again and get that back together and put it back in. I don't know. And I said, well, all right, well, we'll see. So I'm just telling her right now. I was like, well, if I'm going to pay the house off here in the next week or so, potentially, to squeak that little tiny extra bit out for this little toy, I think I might like to do that. And the thing is, the manufacturer of this thing, when it came from the factory, even the parts or whatever, they build them at the factory too if you pay the extra money. They're not that far of a drive for me to go to from Florida. And I thought, on the way back from where this guy's at, which I think was in Washington State by freaking Uncle Cliff, I thought, well, if I go up there, I'm going to go swing by Uncle Cliff's house. I'll bring the helicopter on back. Dude, check this out. Dude, look what these cryptos have done for me. So, and I thank him for some of his Webbot picks early on too, like Veritasium. So anyways, I thought, well, I could just drop it off and say, look, because the guy's like, he goes, every certain number of miles or hours, it's a 2-stroke engine. So he's like, you got the rings and piston, you just have to rebuild it. They give you a ring and piston kit and connecting rods or whatever. He's like, if you're a basic mechanic, you could actually do it. It's not hard at all. And I thought, well, it has hours on it already, but he also included a brand new rebuild kit anyways that the guy gave him. So he's like, I haven't even had to use it yet. And I thought, well, damn, maybe if I did get this thing, I'll just drop it off. Hey, factory, maybe it cost me a few grand for them to just, go over everything and, if it needs to rebuild or whatever, and any other little thing the guys was talking about, like the pedals for the tail rudder or whatever, the tail rotor. He had to re-disconnect those because of the seat thing and all that. And it's just minor stuff, but the guy that was flying it. So I thought, man, I just would do that. But I'm like, yeah, I can't really do that right now. I just, I was watching Digibot go up a little bit, ETN, Theta Fuel. I'm like, again, every 2 cents in Theta. Oh my God, I could buy this helicopter. I'm telling you, when I say cheap, stupid cheap. Like it shouldn't be this cheap. And he's supposed to say no to my offer. He said yes. So I'm like, oh crap, I'm gonna have to go get this thing. Evelyn's not gonna like that. So I had to tell her, she's like, no, not right now. All right, fine. So anyways, Theta's doing good. I want to end this video by telling you that SL369, whatever crypto, SLS, I can't think of the name, Telegram guy, I say it's a guy, I think it's a guy, but it could be a girl, the psychic person too. They were the one I told you just recently. They think it's going to probably go to 45 cents. No timing given. Boom, hits 45 cents. Well, they just updated their Telegram tonight, a little while ago. And since I'm wide awake, I might as well tell you about it. And it said it took 7 days to go from 26 cents to 45. Our prediction is true. Boop, done. Oh, new prediction right after that. The guides have shown me $1.56 is coming for Theta. Again, no timeline. $1.56. I'm just going to tell you right now. I had a feeling we could see at least $1. I think I mentioned this in one or both of the last 2 videos. Theta is about to announce the partnership. Is it YouTube? Is it Netflix? Or is it some other one we just didn't think about? 7-digit name, one word, second letter is a vowel. So YouTube, one word, second letter vowel. Netflix, same story, 7 letters, one word, two syllables, second letter is a vowel. Either of those two is is massive. And I'm hearing there might be another announcement. I don't know if it's right after that or shortly after that or days or weeks after that. May not have to do with a partnership, but some other thing. That's I'm hearing that through the grapevine. Is that going to pump it? I don't know. So I'm just thinking right now, if Theta goes to $1.56, we've recently seen Theta fuel. I thought, didn't it get to almost 3 cents, 2.9 cents? When was that Theta fuel? Was that Theta fuel or was that? No, it might have been Digibyte. Might have been Digi. Anyways, Theta fuel did get over 2 cents briefly, at least briefly. So let's just say, if it's 44, 50 cents, in between there now, and it's going to $1.50, that's a 3x. And I know you can't just automatically apply this, but let's just say Theta fuel at 2 cents triples also. It's 6 cents. And again, my math, I've got 5 times as many Theta fuel, because the freebies, than I have as Theta. That times 6 cents, oh my gosh, that's nice. And absolutely, $1.50 Theta is unbelievably nice. Like, super excited. That's why I'm sitting here right now, 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the morning, wide awake, as if it's like 4 in the afternoon. I still got somewhere to be at 8 a.m. I got to drop my Honda Pilot off. I had a lift kit put on that thing a while back. 2.5 inch in the front, 1.5 inch in the back. I guess it makes it perfectly level that way. And it was fine. And then I got all the axles replaced. And there's no play in the new axles because they're brand new. And I guess it's enough to cause a little vibration at 15 to 20 mile an hour. It's just it's not that big of a deal, but it's just there and it just bothers you, I just don't like it. So they make a subframe lowering kit that drops it down 1 inch to bring the axles back down too. And I was talking to a guy that makes them and stuff. He said, yeah, that should take care of your problem. And whatever. So I got to bring the Honda tomorrow. There's a repair shop not too far, about 3 miles away. And I put the Apocalypse trike in the back of the Honda Pilot. And then I ride that sucker in the bike lane in any sidewalks that come up all the way. Well, on the way back anyways. And then when they call me for it to be done, I just come pick it up the same way. I did that the other day, actually. It's worked out pretty good. So anyways, we'll see what's about to happen. But I'm going to go ahead and say it now. We get $1 plus anything Theta in 4 or 5, 6 cents Theta fuel. I don't want to sell all my Theta. Again, I don't want to have to dump all my stuff to make this happen for my house, but I could definitely take a big chunk of it and a little Digibyte and a little something else and a little something else and a little something else and say, you know what? There it is. House money, little extra, paid off in full, and the little J-Snip helicopter. Hey dude, I know I just talked to you like a week ago. Strange turn of events have just happened. I just kind of hit the lottery in a sense. I'll explain it to you when I see you. Can I come get it? You still got it? I'm going to come get it. I'm going to take a little mini vacation for a week and go up there and pick it up and come back home because it's a long drive over there. I calculated it'll probably take me about 8 days total. Go up there, see Uncle Cliff, briefly, and then come back home. But pick this thing up, drop it off at the manufacturer on the way home, let them deal with it, go back to getting my lessons again on the R22 Robinson so that I know how to fly one of these damn things, at least at a comfortable level. I can fly. I already did it in the sky, and it was easy. And the guy was like, yeah, you got this. This is like, you could fly this thing right now, no problem. He goes, it's the landing because you got to hover too. And of course, taking off, hover before you actually take off. And he goes, that's the hard part. And in these R22s, this is one of the hardest things to learn how to fly. So if you can fly one of these, you could fly any of them. And I thought, okay. So I've only attempted one time to hover. And he's like, I'm going to give you, again, whatever the center stick is. I forget what that's called. There's the cyclic and then the something else. Um, and then the tail rotor. So he controlled everything but the main stick that makes you go forward, backward, left, or right. And it was hard. I couldn't keep her stable. So he had to take over. Okay, got it. He goes, all right, now you do the pedals and the cyclic or whatever. And I'm like, okay. And then that was easier, but it was still like, I still was trying to hold it steady. And it's like, God, he goes, by the way, it usually takes the average person about, like if you're pretty decent, about 10 hours, full 10 hours to get this thing to hover. And then you're off, you're good because you can fly the thing already. He's like, 10 hours is usually if someone can pick up on it pretty good. 20 hours sometimes for some people. I thought, damn. And the problem is you just overcompensate. And because whenever you move that stick, the helicopter is kind of reactionary delayed. So you push this, you're starting to go backwards, like, oh, you want to kind of jerk the stick forward. Then the helicopter catches up to go to that movement. Well, you went too far forward. So now you're really aiming down. Okay, pull it back. The next thing you know, you're just too far back, too far forward. The next thing you know, you're going to crash the thing, so you just got to learn it. So anyways, I'm going to have to get back into that. And I don't even need to fly it. Like, dude, let's just go straight up hover. Go to the end of the runway, off from the field like we did last time. And let me just sit here for an hour with you and do the hover. Because I want to get this down fast so that when this thing's ready, I can take off from, my house or whatever. And I'd probably have him. He's a young guy. He's probably in his 20s. And he's a great pilot. He's a trainer. And I thought, well, I'd probably pay him a couple bucks. Dude, can you come to my house and try this damn personal helicopter out? Like, they already tested it at the factory, by the way. They said it's ready to go. Will you just come by and fly the damn thing? I just want to make sure you feel comfortable. You don't see any problems with this. I'm sure he would do it. And then I'm like, all right, here I go. Let's see what I got. There's a big old field by my house. I'd probably trailer it over there and practice, because you got to practice on any new helicopter, any kind of new aircraft. You got to practice, even if you know what you're doing, to get used to the controls and how it responds. So I would do that before I felt comfortable taking off and just going. But again, it's experimental, no license, go for it, done. Let's go fly. So things might be getting really exciting around here, and I can't wait to see this. But I got to get the house. I got to take care of all that stuff first. And then she's like, oh yeah, we could do the mother-in-law suite, and we could do this. And, your mom could come over here. We could, I'm like, yeah, oh yeah, we could do that. I could put my solar panels finally. If we do the mother-in-law suite, I'll put it on that house. And, all these exciting ideas are coming in because of one crypto doing something epic right now. And honestly, it's not that epic. I think it's fixing to get epic. Anyways, I can't sleep, but I might as well stop talking now. I'll just lay here and dream about helicopters, paying off my house, and treasure hunting. Take care.